Welcome everybody to another episode of Up Your Experience podcast. It is me, that Blaze guy, and with me today we have that Bats guy. Hey Bats, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. What about you, Blaze?
I'm just tired, man. I did a lot of running today because cross country regionals was today, and I experienced an oddity of a course that I've never witnessed. We've ran this course like for regionals this will be the third year in a row. In the past 2 years, it's rained, and the course has been absolutely awful because like you run on like a slant and people slide down the hill because we're not the first like set of schools to run out there. But today, the way it's split is like you run half the park, and like it is, and then like on the other half of the park, which is up a hill a little bit, and then you go down the other side, right? Is next to the water. And it was like a 10-degree temperature swing from one side of the park to the other because the wind coming off of the water was bringing in cool air. But then you got on the other side, it was like 80, 85 degrees. When on the lake side, it was like 70, 75. It
That
was
would kill
super
me.
strange. It was super strange. Plus, the
I'd get
course
to the
was like
cool air
super dry.
part and just stop. Like I'm gonna rest.
I'm not gonna lie, I did. I ran over there and I was like, "Yo, it feels good over here. I don't want to run back to the other side. I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna enjoy this for a bit."
Taxi.
Yes, sir. But yeah, we got some good stuff on the docket tonight. I don't think it's gonna be anything too crazy. But starting off with our usual, what you been playing this week, man?
A whole lot of random stuff, to be honest with you. Obviously, my phone game that I'm not dropping, ever.
Last Fortress, yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah,
God.
I can't help it. I got a good group of people in that.
No, you have an
But-
investment in that game. They're like, "Yo, we gotta get this guy Bats. He needs to be on the board."
I know, right? Let's do it. Dude, I had a thing and then boss shut me down the other day, which upset me because I was like, why don't they put all the money spenders on the same server and then they make more money? Because those money spenders want to spend more money.
Oh my God.
I know. I was like, get them out of my server. Like I don't see the downside. But other than that, I played a bunch of Grounded. Like my eyes bled. And now we're at a standstill on that. Did obviously some Smite here and there, and some For Honor, which I keep trying to get Blaze to play, but
No, I'm good.
it's not working.
I'm not touching that game again, man. I'm done with that game.
And then, believe it or not, Ember and I actually started playing Lego stuff again.
Yeah, I saw you guys were playing like Lego Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. We're gonna start to redo the whole Lego Harry Potter series because we think that's gonna be fun.
That'll be a good time.
And then
The
by the
question
time
is,
it's over
who will
with,
be Ron Weasley?
that would be Ember because I'm gonna be Harry Potter, obviously.
Wow, you just took it from him. You're like, he doesn't get the chance.
Yeah, bro, that's the advantage of being player one.
You log in, he's Voldemort, and you're like, no.
I mean, I still win, Harry Potter.
That's what you think.
I got the wand. Speaking of which, I can't hopefully by the time that I'm done with the 1 through 7, Hogwarts Legacy will be out, and then I'll have no life. Like when it comes out.
I'm scared for that game because my wife has been like playing a ton of Disney Dreamlight Valley, and she had no idea that game was coming out. She plays it all the time, but she is stoked about Hogwarts Legacy, and I can only imagine the amount of time she's gonna sink into that game.
Dude, I've watched gameplay and it looks fantastic.
It looks really good. I hope it's as good as what we're seeing now. That's my concern.
You're telling me.
Like not living up to the hype or whatever. That's why I don't really watch trailers and stuff too often anymore. Like I'll watch like a trailer, but like if they start going to the actual gameplay, I generally don't watch it because I get unrealistic expectations of like how good it should be.
Like Fallout 76 expectations.
I don't think that's the game I've hyped up the most and it let me down. I'm sure I've played something like New World. I had a lot of hope for New World, which is actually getting better now.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
and I've been told to get back into it.
I don't think I've overhyped that game. I think I was very aware from playing during alpha and beta of what that game was like. I can't think of the last game. There's definitely a game in recent memory that I was so excited for. Then I played it. I'm like, yo, this game sucks. But I don't know what that game would be. I can tell you a
Um,
game that's bad
Breakers.
that I played in beta, but I didn't hype that game though. That game was bad in beta, and I still would play it.
What is
Dragon
it?
Ball Breakers is just for me, dude. It's Dragon Ball Z. One person's the villain. There's like 5 or 6 people that are the hero, and I can vibe with that.
Oh man, kind of like
My
Dead by
problem is it has a
Daylight.
gotcha system. It has a gotcha system in a game that you pay for, and that bothers me.
That is messed up. I don't
Um,
know. I'm sending you right now the game that I have been hyped up about forever.
is this what you sent me before?
I don't
Lies and
know.
P. I don't know what that stands. What is that?
It looks like okay, so it's
Is this the
a
witch like game that you sent me?
no. I don't even remember the which game that I sent you. I think I forgot about it.
Oh my
I might have
god,
to
what is
check my wish
this?
list. I know.
It's a Souls game?
Pretty
Oh,
much.
I have seen this. Is this the Pinocchio game?
Yup.
Okay, yeah, I've seen this. It does look
I
pretty
want
good.
it so bad. I've been waiting for a long time.
I've seen some gameplay of it. I have. It does look good.
I know, but I've been hyping myself up and I feel because it gives me the Souls vibe, but along with the Dishonored vibe, which I love the Dishonored, so I have
You know
high
what
expectations and it hurts
has
me.
a there's a Souls like game that came out this past week.
Oh yeah,
It's on Dare Drops. I really want to play it. It's called The Last Hero of Nostalgia. And it looks pretty good. I've
I
heard good
think
things about it so far. I don't know. There's probably some other Souls like games that come out. Who knows? I don't know. My games this week have been pretty concentrated between Smite and Overwatch, with a little bit of Fortnite sprinkled in.
I really need to
Um,
start playing over.
dude, okay, so I played Overwatch comp with Asmore, Embright, and Ash. Shouts to Ash. He's the one of the hosts of Simpy for Senpai podcast. We actually play with Psychotics, who's another host over there too, this week. But I'll get to that later. And I've been trying to do dare drops for Overwatch and like failing miserably, like trying to get Mercy play of the game, trying to get a protection of Suzu by Kuriko, where you do it for 2 people, and that cannot include yourself. And just like other things. And I've gotten several of them done. But there was one for getting 7 environmental kills in 1 round. And I did it and clutched out the game. We actually won the game off the round, but I got a triple boop as Farah. That I fire it and they all get booped off of the bridge and die. And that felt super good. And then I got another to end out that round. I got a quad kill on point to save the game, and we won off of it. I've been having a lot of fun with Overwatch comp. I played with Azu, Fro, Ash, and Psychotics this week. I played like a Rhine game where I popped off, and I played Farah. Farah and May have been my like go-to damage characters for some reason. I also played I played some more Farah May and tanks on Friday. I'm really just trying to finish my ranked placements, but I've ended with L's on Saturday night. And that, as far as Smite goes, Maui came out, and Maui's fun.
Oh, yeah, it's
He is a
fun.
fun god. I played him in Arena, and I got both of his achievements the first game I played him. And then let's see, I went 6, 6, and 23 the first game I played him. Playing mostly damage. I went like Mannequins, Karen's Coin, Manicore, Pridwin, Ratatouille, Divine. And I was playing with Crimson, Kenny, and Foxy. And then I went into Conquest because we were practicing, and I went 10, 5, and 9 on Thor. That Thor change is massive. He is so
Dude, Thor
good.
is amazing.
And these are
He's
part of my
gonna be
9
nerfed.
game. I went on like a 9-game winning streak after that huge loss streak I had a couple weeks ago. Then I played Pele and went 6, 8, and 6. And then I went and I did scrims, and I got heated based off some stuff that was said of me not taking the game seriously because something I said was misinterpreted. But people had like comms muted to where they couldn't hear anything. Like, it was just an absolute mess. And when you're on a comp team, and people deafen without like saying anything ahead of time, and then proceed to like ult into the enemy fountain and die, and to go, oh, I got relics, but like the whole thing was a mess. Like we didn't know. Well, Kenny and I knew we're playing against Masters players. I don't know that everybody else did. Um, it was an absolute mess. It's not the way to handle a scrim. From the coaching side of it, like you should let your players know what level of player they're going up against. Um, and then from our side, like to just deafen and kind of like throw the game away and say I'll jump in comms next game when we take it seriously, I think is just BM and a waste of people's time. So needless to say, if you didn't see the tweet, I left the team this week for Do We Belong. I just based off some things that happened the week before where I got treated like I was stupid, based off of a singular call I made after we won a game, and then we won the set. Between that and just several other things, like they just rubbed me the wrong way, I left. Uh, I hope they do well. I think it's a good like they have a good group of players, and I think it has nothing to do with that. It's just more the atmosphere was not my vibe. Um, but after being extremely angry, I joined Bats and Asmore and Caveman, and I played Scotty and Slash, and I went 20-0-8, and then I died a singular time, and they surrendered.
Don't forget about our cows.
Our cows? Oh no, we're not there yet, dude. We're getting there though. I went 7. Oh, that because then I started practicing solo because I thought I was gonna sub for mobile wards. Then a couple nights later, they ended up not needing me, but I played Guan and went 7-0-1, and I played. That was the night I played Thor. It was me, you, Embers, and Azamor. Vio joined us the second game. I played Thor and went like 13-2-11. And then I fed my brains out as Artemis because the enemy team picked Chang'e, Thor, Thana, Ao Kuang, and Ymir, and we got dumpstered. I don't know why we stayed in that game for 32 minutes. I think I might be able to turn it around, but I just got ulted on cooldown. That Thanatos was nasty. Other than that, I did try the Soul after a buff. Soul felt good. I played Scotty in Conquest. We won that game after like 50 minutes. I got a couple steals this week. I stole Gold Fury tonight after we played. Were you in this game? Yeah. When me, you, Gilly, Hockey, and Asmore played, I got mid and I picked Sasano. I went 15-0-5. And you were on Osiris that game. Me and Hockey were trolling the game, dude.
I was kind of in solo in my own little world.
Yeah, me and Hockey were just like, he was Kuzumbo jungle, and I was Sasano mid. And I think everybody else just played the game, and we just memed on the enemy team. I started A to Z this week for ADC. I played Achilles, and I got the dub at 5-0-3. I also played Agni, and I got that dub because they surrendered. We had some good games this week, dude. We had that conquest where I played AMC, and our solo, shout outs to our solo Sasano that built full damage and kept getting ganked on cooldown because he didn't have wards and dying. I was like, what was I? Was I 5 levels up, Bats, on the enemy ADC, and we lost? Something like that. It was bad. We lost that game. I remember that.
Yeah, because he just sat in fountain.
Yeah.
Got bullied because he went full damage and didn't want me over in lane to help him.
Yeah.
And he got bullied by a Fenrir.
Let's see. I played the Kepri ADC game too, where I soloed the enemy ADC, and they got really mad about me soloing their ADC, and I got smacked after like the third time I killed him. And then tonight we played our first game of Conquest. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play one before recording, and we got absolutely obliterated by, I'm pretty sure it was Smurf accounts.
Yeah, shout out to Vio for saying horrible idea because you're gonna be mad the whole time you do the podcast.
Dude, shout outs to Smurfs, man. What, like, I want to understand. I want someone that Smurfs to explain to me why. Like, what do they gain from it that makes it enjoyable? Because I don't think it's fun to just Smurf games. and keep in mind, like I know Asmore is above level 30 now, but like he is still learning a good portion of the game, and like that feels bad. To like, I don't want to be in like below level 30 lobbies stomping people because that's no difference than someone smurfing. I don't want to be doing that. But I also feel bad when it's like we get like a jungler that's popping off. He's not. It's just bad. Like the whole thing was rough. We did recover
Mhm.
though. The second game we won, and I stole Gold Fury, which I always like doing. That's my favorite thing to do.
Oh, yeah,
Other than that, I
second
played
game, I
Fort.
feel like we came out hard.
Yeah, we did. We came out with a mission. Our first game, we're like, oh, we're just gonna have some fun. Our second game was like, yeah, that fun stuff, get it out of here. We don't want none of that. Um, I did play Fortnite with Luke. I don't know if you've ever done the Fortnitemares stuff they do, bats, but they usually have like these purple zombies that pop up throughout the map, and they come at you in like waves. The new one is like you go into zones that are, and it kind of goes like this black and whitish vibe. Like it gives like a like old schooly feel, but the zombies just pop out. Like they just pop out of this on the screen and then come at you.
What?
Like, yeah, it's
Where have
like
I
jump
been?
scares, dude. It's kind of crazy.
No, I've not played that
Um,
at all. I haven't been
oh,
on Fortnite in a while.
it's pretty sick. It's a good time. Other than that, that's all I've played this week. I've just been kind of vibing. I watched some League Worlds this weekend, and like that's always really hype. Um, Other than that, I don't have anything else about games of the week. Do you?
Um, okay. So I finally found the game that I've been considering about. It took me that whole time,
Okay.
but it just came out. That's Steel Rising. Have you seen that?
Steel Rising. That game sounds familiar. I've heard of this game. I'm pretty sure I've. Where have I seen this?
I can't remember if we saw it when we were doing something and it was like released in a game thing.
Yeah.
But like it came out, yeah, September 8th is when it came out. Actually, but I think I saw it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh!" But then I was like, "Do I really want to play this game?"
Yeah. I don't remember if we saw this or not. The name sounds really familiar though.
And I feel like we've talked about it, and it upsets me that it took me that long to figure out. I was like, "What is this game called?"
Oh, it's set in Paris, 1789. I have seen
Uh
something about this
huh.
game.
I've
Huh.
heard like decently good reviews, but I'm not gonna lie. While looking it up, I found out that the Sid Meier's what is the Civilization 5 is on sale for $30
Oh, nice.
with all the
Expansions or whatever.
DLCs. Yup.
Yo, that's kind of sick.
I know. I was like, oh, okay. Yoink. I play that a lot.
I
But
have
other
played
than
it. It's
games of the
pretty good.
week, I don't know. I've kind of been stuck on like the same games as usual. Haven't tried anything new yet. Maybe I'll branch out eventually.
Yeah, it's hard, dude.
Oh,
I
speaking
have
of
stuff.
games,
Yeah.
we haven't played Gundam Evolution in a while.
No, we haven't. I thought about that last week, and then I thought about it again today. That
Guess
game
we're
got
on
a
the
rough
same page.
start
I did.
because like they had a bunch of server problems, and then they finally got it on track, and Overwatch released, which is what I was concerned about.
That is true.
Because I don't know if they've even announced like what their next suit was going to be from what I've been following. Like I haven't seen anything as of yet. I do want to go back and play it some more and see how it's doing though,
Yeah, I'm definitely down.
because
Just
I
tell
do
me
love
when.
me some Gundam games.
Oh,
It's
I
the same
do.
thing about multiverses. Like I need to get on there and play that too.
Oh yeah, that's
There-
what I've been doing. I've been
There's
building Gundam models.
oh nice.
Yeah, I have what is that? Master grade Barbados.
Have you watched Witch from Mercury yet? Have you started
I
it?
started it, but I
Okay,
haven't.
I've only
I
watched
don't
the
know.
prologue. The prologue's really good.
I'm honestly waiting till there's more episodes out because I don't want to get hooked on it, and then because
Yeah,
I am on like 8 different animes right now that I'm waiting week to week, and it's driving me nuts.
yeah. I need to. I've been just watching One Piece, but I need to like go watch some other stuff.
Like that Bleach Thousand Blood War. Oh my gosh, there's only 2 episodes out, and it just has you. It's intense the whole time. You're just like, what is going on? I need to know more. I need it.
So I watched a good portion of Bleach and then read further than that, but I have not like went back and ever started watching it again. But Bleach was fairly good.
I think it's for how long it is. It to me, it's kind of like One Piece, where they have so many episodes, but at the same time, it's so many different arcs and stories that kind of align together that you're kind of just like,
Yeah.
because
I
it's
like that
nice to
they
have
try to
something that doesn't die.
well, I like that the fact that like things that are in their filler end up in the main show.
Hmm.
That's one thing that I enjoyed about when I did watch it. I just haven't watched it in a long time. Have you seen speaking of anime, have you seen like the recuts of Naruto where they went back and like revisualized it?
Yeah,
Dude, that looks
like it's
good.
crazy.
If they went back and redid that show with that, oh my god, it'd be nuts.
I think it's crazy how they're still coming out with more stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love it too. It's like
Okay.
that's like a childhood thing right there.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I need more Dragon Ball Super. I think we're getting Dragon Ball Super. Is it Super Heroes or something like that's the
Yeah,
next
Dragon
set?
Ball Hero.
Yeah, I wonder when that starts because I have no idea.
Was it
I
a
know the
series? I thought
manga
it was a
started.
movie.
Is it? No, no, there is the movie, but I think we're getting another anime too.
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. This is why we need Ash to come on the
I know,
podcast.
dude. But then we would be here for like 7 hours
Dude,
straight. Just
my I can't wait to have Ash on the podcast, but I'm also so concerned that it will be the longest episode by far. I might have to release it like in episodes.
in chunks.
It's like episode 1. Um what we
Yeah,
really
because we would get
I,
lost so
what
much.
everybody needs to do is they need everybody that listens, and Ash will be a person that listens tomorrow when this releases, so he will not appreciate this. But you should go and DM him his thoughts and review on an anime called Handshakers. I have never seen it. I know nothing about it, but I saw a question on Twitter about like, would you rather have some like an anime that's ended come back that you love, or one that you could just erase from all memory? And he's like, erase from all memory, Handshakers. No one else should have to watch that. So
I
it
think
has to
we've
be
talked
good.
about it before, but I'm gonna message him right now about, yo, what's your opinion on handshakers?
Oh god, dude. But moving on to some gaming news, there's not a ton today. I kind of kept it light because we have a fun topic to talk about after this. Um, First of all, for my Vampire Survivors friends, aka the one of the best games of 2022, um, they're working on after it relieves early access, which it's done, it's left early access. They're working on new game modes, weapons achievements, and a Twitch mode that allows like interactive gameplay with your Twitch chat, which
Nice.
I think is awesome.
And it's on sale.
Gives me Cult of the Lamb vibes. It's on sale right now. I think anything that can integrate with your chat and give your chat power to like be part of the game or like change part of the game is super fun. And the more games that do it, the better. Because I think it just brings more interaction with chat. I think that's cool. We also got news of a Silent Hill 2 masterpiece being redone. It's being fully remade. The graphics are insane. It's going to be on PlayStation 5 and Steam. And I can't wait. It looks good. If
It
you
actually
haven't
does.
watched it, you should go check it out. It does look quite good. Along with that, I linked this to Bats beforehand, but you can go on Steam and get this right now. You can try it out for free. It's called Sector's Edge. And it's an FPS. It was developed by two brothers for the past 5 years, and pretty much the whole like it's not fully, but like almost the entire environment in the game is destructible. And I don't know if Bats watched the video of it, but it looks pretty sick, and I want to try it.
Yeah, actually looks pretty fun.
It has like I don't want to say it's like what's the proper word for the art style because it's not like Minecraft.
I mean, that was my first.
But like, it's like Minecraft. It's like
hey,
a nicer version looking a version of Minecraft as an FPS, but like the world like falls apart and then breaks into pixel blocks. It looks cool.
Like it reminds me of Astroneer, the way that game works.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
I think it
also,
looks good.
while I'm thinking about it too, they're making a remastered Resident Evil 4 that actually looks like it's completely going to be redone.
I'd play that. That's one of the only Resident Evil games I like.
Oh, I loved it, but it so they remastered it, right? which is
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I was
yeah.
a little bit hesitant when they said they're coming out with Resident Evil 4 again. But this time they're actually making it to where like PC controls and Xbox One controls and all that.
Oh,
It
that'll be
seems
cool.
like it's gonna be fire. Like I'm hoping
Yeah,
they make it like Resident Evil Village type way.
yeah, that'll
I
be
will
good.
waste my money. I like give it to me now.
Um, Other news for Overwatch people: the Halloween event starts tomorrow, and Bastion and Torbjorn will be back, as well as Junkertown, because all those things were taken out of the game because of various reasons. Like Bastion had like basically like an infinite alt fire where you could just launch artillery on cooldown throughout the map and wipe everybody out. I forgot what Torbjorn's bug was, but he had a bug, and then Junkertown had a map issue. So those are all fixed. They also released a video of the Overwatch 2 hero abilities #1, like it's a talent video. And this is for their PvE mode that's releasing next year. They said there are 1,800 new hero talents in PvE with 40 to 50 talents per hero. It's going to be divided into 3 trees similar to what we see in World of Warcraft. It sounds insane. It makes me really hyped for the PvE mode. I'm hoping the PvE mode's good. I know tomorrow with the Halloween event, we're getting like a Halloween PvE event, so we'll kind of see kind of
Oh,
maybe a glimpse of what to expect. And hopefully it's good.
okay.
But other than that, I have no more gaming news. Um, if you're a music fan, Taylor Swift released her new album this past week and it broke Spotify, and that entertains me to no end. My wife's a huge like Swiftie. Um, she actually does like embroidery and stuff, and like has like several Taylor Swift ones that look really, really good. If you ever want to see those, you can go check out Bored Mama on TikTok, and she makes like awesome like segmented TikToks that are really good.
Oh no.
Uh, but she went through and she was all excited for whenever it released last week at midnight. I think it was like last Thursday night. And I remember before I went to bed, I was like just scrolling Twitter, and her, Taylor Swift's album broke. Taylor Swift's album broke Spotify. Like it legitimately crashed. It broke the single day like like record, whatever you want to call it, listened record. And it wasn't even like like I think it was like 14 hours into the release. So that's pretty cool. But on another note, I want to talk coaching, Bats,
Let's go.
because
Is
I've
it
seen things this past week.
is it the type of coaching that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, dude, it's okay. So we've talked about it here. I for a living I've coached cross country and track. Um, I have won regional meets. I've won state championships within my first like couple years of coaching. I've been coaching since 2016 now, I think is the first year I coached. Maybe it was 2017. 2017 probably, because I started teaching in 2016. Okay, so I've been teaching for 5-ish years. And I have a very different approach to coaching than most people. Um, I don't yell at people. Like I yell when they're out on the course, like telling, yelling at them, be like, "Hey, do this. Uh, work on this. Like you're doing this really well." Overall, like trying to be as helpful as possible. But at no point do I ever talk down to one of my runners. Do I ever like just yell and scream at them? I don't cuss in front of students. I don't cuss in front of my athletes. I think I have actually slipped up in my whole entire career of teaching, which has been over a decade. I've slipped up one time. And my slip up was at a track meet where we got disqualified after being the fastest team in the state to go to state. We beat them by 4 seconds, and I didn't know someone was there behind me. And that's the only time. Um, but other than that, never happened. I've been through trainings with professionals and talk to them about like different ways to handle coaching. What do they do? And here's the deal, because I've also coached Smite teams that have been relatively successful. Um, I've coached other teams that like their goal wasn't to just be like number one. They just were wanting to work on things to get better at the game, and I fully support that too. Um, if you watched coaching commentary I've done, I do my best to try to like make sure I like go through them being as educational as possible without BMing the other team. Unless I know both teams and it's in good fun, then maybe I BM a little bit. But overall, like I'm not out there to BM anybody. But Bats, I've seen some stuff the past 2 weeks
I've
that
heard
I
some stuff the
that I
past
just
2 weeks.
can't go. It just can't go unchecked. Okay, as a coach, I don't care what you've coached in life. When it comes to coaching or coaching, whether it be sports, esports, I teach coaching, treat coaching like I treat teaching. Like I'm there to help somebody gain an education and become better. But instead of becoming better at math, I want them to become a better runner or a better smite player or whatever. And there's several ways to go about that. What I think is interesting is what I ran into last week was someone talking down to me. And when I asked to say my point, I got told I was incorrect and basically continued to be talked down to. Which I have no problem being told I'm incorrect. My problem is talking down to people. So first and foremost, if you're wanting to coach, uh, you should probably do your best to not break people down, especially after a win.
Mhm.
Seems
Yeah, no.
counterproductive.
The coach is there to inspire and
Yeah,
try to improve, not beat you down. This isn't. I mean, I hate saying it, but like, yeah, it's like we talked about today. Like, military breaks you to reform you, but like, that's not what coaching's about.
no.
It's completely different.
Well, and for instance, like the goal in coaching, and you shouldn't when I say you shouldn't do that after a win, you shouldn't do that before a game either. And I've seen people do this in my professional career. Of breaking people down beforehand. You are not doing it yourself a service or that individual by pointing out things they've done negative. So I'm going to do
Mhm.
an experiment right now for listeners. Right. The one thing you can do is your brain cannot process negative thought. It just can't do it. So when I say don't think of an elephant, the first thing you do is think of an elephant.
I was thinking of a giraffe.
You shut your mouth. You thought of an elephant. Um, but that's my point, right? Like when you tell someone to not do something, they focus on it and they focus on it. If you're a motorcycle rider, the one thing they tell you is where your eyes go, the bike goes. If it's the same thing for skiing. If you think don't go look at the tree, don't look at the tree, don't look at the tree, you're gonna run into that dang tree, man. Like it's just gonna happen. Um, so when you're coaching, you have to figure out how to word things in a way that's a critique, but doesn't make it focus on the negative because that's all the
Because
person's
what
going to
is
get out
that?
of it.
Positive reinforcement?
Yeah, well, yeah, positive reinforcement. They have like one thing. It's called a positive critique sandwich, where like you give a positive critique followed by
Mhm.
like, hey, this is something you need to work on. So like, which is the negative, and then you follow it with a positive. Um, there's a lot of research done. I work with a organization called Positive Coaching Alliance. And there's a lot of research done about, coaches that spend their time critiquing positively and maybe like, okay, you point out two negative things and then follow it up with three or four positive things, or you do the critique sandwich, or you use language that doesn't come with a negative connotation. Those coaches are more successful. They just are. They get more out of their athletes than other coaches do. Um, I think most of the people that listen that I know, I know when I was an athlete, if my coach started screaming at me, that did nothing for me, dude. I'm like, cool. You feel better now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you good? Because I was good before this. We could have talked like human beings, but if you want to scream, bro, like have at it. Um, that's just not me. And I've even had athletes tell me like, "Hey, you're like really chill." Yeah, I have no reason not to be. Now don't get me wrong, am I a hard coach? Yeah, I am. But I get my athletes to work every day. Like last week we were doing a harder workout. They're like, "Why are we doing this?" And I was like, "Because we have to get ready for regionals." I said, we have to be better. I said, you guys are at a point where we can push further. We're going to push further. So I think that's the first thing. If you're going into coaching, is take the time and learn how to positive critique and learn how to talk to people. It will go a long way. You will gain a lot. Also, don't ask your players or runners or whatever to do something you wouldn't do. So, for instance, I am a coach that I do if I give my runners a workout, I do the workout with them. Sometimes I'll actually do more than them to get them to run more. Like I go out there and I'm like, man, if I can do it at the age of 34, surely y'all can do it at the age of 16.
Oh, throwing in the age factor.
No, but I don't even have to say the age, right? But like but you get what I mean. Like that gets rapport. That gets people to be like, well, man, dang, dude, if coach is gonna do it, like surely we could too.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you see somebody else doing it and you're like, oh, okay, they're not just sitting on their butt in a lazy chair just telling us what to do.
Yeah.
You
They're not
get
just
definitely
saying
more motivated.
they're not just getting, oh hey, he just tells us to go do this and we have to go do it. And I think about stuff like that. Like, show that you're willing to, put some skin in the game. Not just talk, and hopefully, get things to work your way.
I mean, and I will say too, like I definitely agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, like I do think like if there is problems with what you're doing, it should be addressed, but in a nicer way than saying you're just wrong. Saying, hey, I want you to try this out and tell me if it feels better.
Right. But what's that go back to? That goes back to knowing how to talk to people and like
Yep.
making a negative thing be positive. So like for instance, I had an issue this year with runners that were using their shoulders to run. And I was like,
Oof.
"Hey guys, I noticed that several of you are like using your shoulders to kind of move. I don't know where that's coming from, but like just hear me out. Does this feel more comfortable what you're doing with your shoulders or just swinging your arms?" And they're like, "Oh, I mean, swinging my arms feels way better." And I said, "All right, well, like let's work on that. Like let's work on like doing what feels better rather than like what our body wants to make us do."
Yeah. Hey,
And like,
and I'll throw it out there too. Hour to 3 hour long conversations are not a good thing.
no,
The attention span has a 15-minute interval to where if you're not keeping interested in within that, you're done.
yeah. Well, and like for instance, I'm a person that I only do hour-long practices to an hour and a half, somewhere in there. That's for running. You can't really expect people to run for like 2 or 3 hours. It's just not believable. Um, but like I keep my practices down to
I
an
mean,
hour to an hour
even
and a half.
human people can.
Um, dude, don't get me started. I saw the number 3 girl in the nation run, like number 3 girl in high school in the nation run today.
Oh,
She ran a 17:26, and that was a slower time for her. Her PR is a
my lord.
17:06. Yeah, in a 3.1 mile race, that's nuts. Also, find out like what motivates your players. Like there's a lot of things that go hand in hand between coaching a real sport and coaching esports. There's obviously some things that are a bit different, but like figure out like what's your team identity. That goes sports and esports. If you look at football teams, like some of them are passing teams, some of them are running teams. So you look at basketball
Mhm.
teams, some of them are we're going to shoot outside the 3-point line. No, some of us are we're going to play in the we're going to be in the paint.
Duncan.
Um,
Duncan.
yeah, but I mean, like, so you have to think about like who are you, um, and work on that. Find out who your leaders are that want to lead and are respected as leaders. Don't
Mhm.
just appoint people to be like, okay, you're the team captain, because some people don't want that responsibility, and some people are not leaders.
Me. Why I pawn it off on Blaze?
But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things like evaluate and take criticism.
Well, see, and my thing is, I'm just not like I can be confrontational, but I don't like telling somebody that like with my experience, at least with being team captain and stuff. It's like I don't like being the bearer of bad news, saying, "Hey, all these people don't like you,"
Yeah,
because it's like because in my point, I'm like, I don't understand why we can't get along, like
right.
because And that's what I always had on my team, and it's like I'm done. I can't do it. It's just like I don't understand how we're a team if we don't get along with each other. Like, what is this about?
Yeah. Well, and
And
it's
I think
like,
that's kind of your scenario too. It's like, you just I don't know. Some of them you mess with, some of them you didn't, and at the end of the day, it's a game to have fun. And like, if you're not having fun, then you shouldn't just be there.
yeah. Well, and I think you have to. Everybody needs to understand what's being involved with the team from the get go. Like, if the
Hmm.
goal is to be as competitive as possible and have meetings after every game or every set and work on all these things, then everybody needs to know that from the get go.
Yep.
You can't have people. You can't just bring people in and then that's their expectation of them, and then like they weren't ready for that. Like things like that. But I think one thing you have to be able to do too is like take constructive feedback as a coach. I ask my runners. I ask, and when I've coached Smite, I asked for constructive feedback. Like, hey, what is it you guys need from me? What is it that I could do better? What is it that would help you be better? I think that's really important, and I think when you're doing that, you make no rebuttal. I think people don't understand what listening is. Like when you tell someone, "Hey, if you ever need to talk, I'm here to listen." Usually that conversation goes with, notice I said conversation because you're not really listening, is like, I'm not talking about you, Bats. I'm just meaning, you know what
Well,
I'm
yeah, I get
um,
it.
but like if you tell someone you're going to listen to them, hear them out. Like take it all in, process the information. Um because that's important. Um let them get everything out they need to say, let them finish talking, then say what you need to say. You're going to gain more from that and so are they. Um I actually listened to a lot of like just things about like how to talk to people and like how slowing down and speeding up actually changes the meaning of what you're talking about, or taking a pause and not saying goes like a long way to help you not only develop your thinking process but allow those that you're talking to time to think. There is lots of little nuances that go into being a teacher and coach that I don't think people realize. Um, but I think those are like, if you're gonna start coaching, those are coaching tips. All right, like you need to bring a positive vibe. If you are down, and believe me, I don't know if you've seen me on stream before, like I don't have a smiling face all the time. That's just not who I am. I'm a very straight faced person. But does
Called
that mean
resting
I
B
come in
face.
with like, and I'm like super down and super depressed? No, because like my athletes are going to feed off my energy. Same thing when I'm teaching, my students are going to feed off my energy. If my energy is low, I should expect low energy. Um, you need to come in with a positive attitude. You need to be able to learn how to word things in a positive way. You cannot come in there and just break people down. If your goal is to break people down to build them back up, you are in the wrong line of business.
Hmm.
Um, you know, find out like, hey, how are we? If you're talking about esports, how do we want to play this game? If you're talking about football, basketball, and traditional sports, you go, okay, like what's our plan as a team? Who are our playmakers? Who are our leaders that we can get out there? Um, and then it goes from there. Like then you can talk about the nuances of whatever game it may be, or whatever sport it may be, and you go from there, and you start putting the pieces together and going from there. But I just witnessed a lot of things in the past week or two, and don't get me wrong, I witness stuff all the time as a coach, like in real life that I see. I'm like, dude, there is no way that works and gets people motivated. Um, I see stuff all the time, but I think it was kind of eye opening last week from seeing people that are new to coaching and want to be a coach act in that way. I will give it to my teammates; like they did say something to him, uh, and were like, "Hey, you can't be doing that stuff in between sets. Like it's just not appropriate." And that became like, "Oh, that's a discussion for another time." That's something I can work on if we decide we need it, that it needs to be worked on, or whatever. It's like if you just got told that that's a problem by the team,
It's a problem.
it's a problem. And like that's where it comes down to that listening aspect. Um and I don't know. I was just like I was thinking about it today cuz I got sent some stuff that I'm not going to go into. And I was just like,
We
you
don't
know,
have
maybe
enough time on the podcast to
I,
go into
dude,
it.
it was like a freaking book. Um, that I was like, maybe I spend some time talking about coaching because I haven't really talked about it from any perspective, but like anybody can be a good coach if you're going to spend the time to learn how to do it.
Mhm.
You can't expect results immediately. That's just not the way things work. I lucked out as a cross country coach this year. I got kids that were absolutely motivated to go out there and do better and be better and get faster. And like that is not something I've had the past couple years. Like it has been hard to be a coach the past couple years. I've actually had several coaches or several like I've talked to other coaches and they had the same experience where, for instance, when I get to track season, I had kids only want to do one event. I'm like, you practice all week and you just want to run one event for 25 seconds. And that's it. Like you don't want to run anything else? No, coach, I'm good. I'm like, wow. Like that's crazy. Cause when I was running, I was doing like 4 events. You know what I mean? I was doing the max I could do. So it's interesting to see that difference. And it seems like we're getting like the competitive nature back. And like, I'm excited to see that. But depends on the kids that are out there, who's leading the way. I mean, my kids told me today, like, hey, if we don't make state, that's fine. We're gonna start practicing for track like this week. I said, yo, if that's what you guys want to do, because they were gonna organize it and do it themselves. I was like, hey, I'll come out there and run with y'all 3 or 4 days a week. They're like, oh, really? I said, yeah, I'll run the practices if that's what you guys want to do. If you guys are gonna put the work in, then let's do it. But I also look at all my athletes when I talk to them and I say, hey, what are you wanting out of this sport? Like, what's your goal? If your goal is to be as competitive as possible, then I'm going to coach you a little bit different than the person that's out there because, hey, I just want to be part of a team. I don't really care how I finish. I want to be out part of a team. I want to challenge myself, or I want to lose weight. Those are all great things, and I'm going to accommodate that in any way I can. But I know that they don't necessarily want to be like someone going as hard on them as someone that wants to compete to be number one. So that's just food for thought. I just thought those were good kind of points to bring up as I winged it today. But I think those are when I talk about coaching, like those are the main points I focus on first. And then if you want to get more in depth with it, you can. I don't think I missed anything unless Bats can think of something that I missed.
No, you pretty much hit the nail on the. Yeah, I
On
brain
the
farted on that. Yeah,
on the head.
yeah, I brain farted on that.
I hit that nail, dude, with a hammer.
And to be honest, like I know it's been like something that's been eating at you for a while now, just because it's like you sit there and you have someone who's like, well, I'm the greatest coach there is. No, no, no.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. It was a rough time for sure. Along with that, we have some names of the week.
Oh, are you gonna say the ones that I've done?
But the problem is I don't. Okay, I know I did Neath VT. I did Optimus Prime Time. We had Coconut Up Butt. Is that? I saw Mercy Milkers. That's right. I also saw
Right,
Boo Boo Bear,
right,
Maui.
right under the Mercy Milkers. Come on.
Yeah, Fistifer Throbbing. I can't with that name, dude. We also played against High Res L. It's super. It's what? Oh my god, I can't read it when it's that small. It's I try super hard 24/7, and the Gilf Destroyer. That was the Smurfs game. I think I had some other good names of the week, but I didn't actually screenshot them, which is sad. Like there were some good ones in Overwatch, and I just forgot to go back and screenshot
I
them.
know it's so hard to like when you're laughing about it to remember to put them in.
Oh yeah, there was Sir Booty Lick. That's one we saw this week. Silent Whale, Depressed Panda, um, the big Coom Small Peepee, Holy Smacks. I'm going back through Smite games right now. I can think about Detective Frog. I don't know if I have any other ones other than those. I think that's pretty much it. But I wanted to make sure I got those ones in. And I'm not logged into Overwatch to see the other ones, nor do I feel like logging into it. Bats, I have a random question for you because you like cereal.
All right.
What's your top 5 cereals?
Ooh. Top 5. Um, Waffle Crisps is definitely up there. Um, Fruity Pebbles would be a go-to.
Oh my god.
Raisin Bran Crunch. Uh,
This has to
Cookie
be
Crisp.
one of the worst.
and
This is one of the worst top fives I could have imagined.
and Rice Krispies.
Are you okay?
Why?
You just like cereal that just like disapparates into milk immediately.
What do you mean, dude? I
You had
devour
fruity
cereal
pebble.
before it evaporate or
You had
disapparates.
you had fruity pebbles and Rice Krispies in your top 5.
Okay, I for a little bit of just background, I grew up on Rice Krispie treats. Like that's what my grandma would always give me. So like I have a fondness for Rice Krispie treats,
Oh, don't get me wrong.
especially sprinkling a little bit of sugar onto it. That was like the best enjoyment as a kid.
Yes, but Rice Krispie treats aren't cereal.
Whatever. They're in the cereal
Oh,
aisle. They count. If they're in the aisle, they are a
oh
cereal.
my god, dude. Oh,
Whatever. You probably
well,
like something like Kicks.
no,
Discontinued.
dude. Kix is awful, dude. No, it's definitely Count Chocula's number 1. Number 2 is Reese's Puffs.
I do like Reese Puffs, but they're expensive. See, I
Number
gotta as
I
an
only
adult.
buy stuff when it's on sale, bro.
I was like, as
do.
an adult, I gotta go to my go-to won't make me broke cereal.
Number 3, Captain Crunch. Number 4, Life cereal because it slaps, and I won't be told otherwise.
Cinnamon or regular?
Either one, you take it, dude. Both are good.
Cinnamon's better.
I mean, cinnamon is better, but they're both good. Um,
You want to talk
dude,
about disapparates? Life cereal gets like soggy in like 2 seconds.
that's true. I don't eat cereal with milk anymore, though, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, you use water instead, you weirdo.
No, I don't use any liquid. I just eat it.
You dry it?
Yeah,
What the?
I eat cereal dry, dude.
I was over here eating a mouthful.
Nah, dude, it's fine. I've adapted. I've become next level as a human.
I've learned to reproduce much saliva to counteract the cereal.
I don't know what the heck my 5th cereal is gonna be, dude. It's gone. Who knows? It was something.
Probably something weird like Tricks or.
No, dude, Trix is so gross, dude.
That's only because you're not a kid.
That's true. I am not a
I
child.
don't know. There actually are like looking at the cereal aisle now. There are so much more cereal selections out there than what I used to have as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
Your top 5 would be the only 5 that was in the store. Now there's like 400, and you're like in the aisle for 2 hours going. At least that's one of my problems.
There's so much cereal in the cereal aisle. All right. Anyways, do you have any shout outs, Bats? Because I feel like we're about to go off the rails, and I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop us before that happens.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm always bad at shout outs. I'll be 100% honest. Shout out to everybody that listens to this. How about that?
Yeah, that's
Shout out
pretty
to
sick.
all you lovely people.
My shout outs are to Majin Busha. He released another episode this week. You should go check it out. He's been doing NFL picks, and this man's been on a roll, dude. Like, if you want to do some like small bets and you want to listen to Majin Busha, he might make you some money. He has been on the spree with records on NFL picks. I think he went like, what was it? He sent me it today. Did he go 12-4? Hold on. He sent me what he did. Or maybe I'm missing it and I'm just stupid. I don't remember. He sent me something and I don't remember what it was. I don't know, dude. It's somewhere in my DMs. But he's been on the positive. I
Blaise
just don't
got too many
remember.
DMs.
I do have too many DMs. I'm trying to figure out where he sent it. Maybe he didn't send it to me. I don't know. Whatever. Shout out to Majin Busha. Shout out to Ash, Psychotics, Daddy Coon over on the Simping for Senpai podcast. Go show them some love. I think they hit like their 25 reviews that they needed to do the special episode that Ash wanted to do. So that's pretty sick. And if you're reviewing over there, you should review this podcast over on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. You should go leave us a review because that helps us. Lets us get noticed on those databases more and all that good stuff. So any help could be grateful. Along with that, if you're looking to try out non-conquest Smite League, this is new. You can try out the Albion Giants non-Smite League or non-conquest league. Sorry, not non-Smite. It's still Smite, just non-conquest. It's going to take place in Arena, Assault, Clash, Joust, and Siege. Each team will eliminate a game mode, and then you play a best of 3 among the other game modes. So make sure to go check that out if that's something you'd be interested in. Other than that, we're out of here. Peace out.
Lady yo.
Bye.